Well, so I saw the rise and fall of two different major categories. Basically like a derivative. Its founder, as well as many other people associated, all went to jail. This is a shocking fact. This could be our big fact.
He's literally in the lab cooking, bro.
Yeah.
Guys, welcome back to the Zila Heavyweights Podcast, episode number 3. Today I have my partner and my friend Sean Torbati on with us. He is a product formulator and a nutritionist. He's the one that helped us formulate all the Zila products. All of the flavors are taste tested and all through Sean before they get put onto the website for you guys to enjoy. So welcome, Sean. Thank you for joining us.
All right. Excited to be here.
I guess first off, it'd be cool because like I've never heard your story before, like as crazy as that sounds. So I think it'd be good to, I guess, like just touch on that. I guess my first question is, how did you get into health and wellness and like and supplements and fitness and just the whole thing?
So I'm one of 3 siblings. I have a younger sister and I had an older brother. His name was Jason. He passed away when he was 24 years old. I was 17. And at that time, like I was telling you guys, I was really getting into health and fitness. I was very, very into it for myself and I loved everything about it. And here at the same time, I'm seeing my brother. He was diagnosed with a genetic heart defect and a heart disease when he was like maybe 16, 17, maybe even 18, something like that. I was young. He was 7 years older than me. So I think he was 18. He was 18. I'm like 11. So it was like part of my life, like that he had this condition. He was diagnosed with this condition and his heart was basically degrading. And it was becoming less and less powerful. And it was working at a capacity that's much less than any of us here. So let's just say that our heart's working at 100%. His heart was working at that time at like 40%, and then it was going down over time. So that was when he was 18, and they said that he would probably only live a couple of years. And he wasn't a candidate for a transplant because I guess whatever combination of circumstances he had made it as such to where they said, if we put a new heart in you, your entire system is the problem, and it will ruin that heart too. It will tax and beat up whatever heart we put in you. So you're not really a good candidate for a transplant. And there's so many people who need hearts that they're very specific about stuff like who's going to be a good candidate for it. We got to the point where my dad was like, even like considering trying to like take illegal measures to get a heart for him. But it just didn't really pan out because it was going to have to be something really weird. So meanwhile, he is unable to be active and he's not living with us. And so he like really is into junk food, like candy and soda, regular soda. And he's gaining weight because he's not able to move around. And he's depressed about this situation. He ends up passing away when I'm 17 and he's 24. And at that moment, I realized that, dang, if he was able to keep that weight off himself, he probably would have lived even longer. If maybe not ever passed away. And I said that he didn't listen to me, and they like my parents and all them didn't really care about my opinion at that time. Nor should they have. I'm a kid. But I said, if I can be part of other people not having this happen to them and having them build healthier lives where it's part of it and they take care of it, their health, I want to do that. And I have to do that. And I feel like so motivated to do it. As I continued on, I even met people who had a similar condition heart-wise and were able to live through it. And
Wow.
so I believe that if he was able to prevent that weight gain, he would still be alive. Wow. I don't think that he had to die. I think that the heart condition is something that has to be managed and dealt with. But the weight gain that he went through was strictly on him, like from the consumption of the food that he would do. And of course the lack of activity. But if he was able to prevent that, I think he would be alive still. And I think that most people, you're starting from a place of having not much excuse. And you're making decisions that are taking you down one path or another. So to the extent that I can be part of people making the right choices, whether they're currently in a bad spot or currently in a whatever spot, I want to be part of what pulls them in the right direction. Because if we're not, I think that we're seeing it already. We see what's happening. People are becoming more and more overweight and obese in the US and around the world. It seems to be like par for the course, is that if we don't do something, people are going to trend towards being more unhealthy and more overweight and less active.
I mean, yeah, I agree with that 100%. That's why we're having John go through the journey again.
What was the number one, would you say, like supplement? Because back then, the supplement game has changed.
Yeah.
You've seen it.
Yeah.
So what was like, would you say like the most like popular supplement that people were like, I have to have this at your store?
Well, so I saw the rise and fall of two different major categories, which were not good for people. And then some things that were good for people. I'll tell you the bad ones first. I saw the rise and fall of prohormones, which was basically oral precursors to steroids that you didn't have to inject, right? So I think probably the number one reason why steroid use isn't more rampant is because people don't want to inject themselves with the intramuscular needle.
But you can take steroids that are in pill form, no?
Yes, some are orally available but most are not. Like you can't take testosterone, for example, in a pill. You typically would inject it, and now they have other formats as well, but oral is not one of them. And also that like a lot of the steroids, they don't do them orally because they're extremely hepatotoxic. They're not good for your liver.
Yeah.
So by injecting it, you at least bypass the liver.
Yeah.
So you don't have to deal with that outcome, So prohormones came out, which were like these precursors, pro meaning before and hormone meaning like testosterone. They would convert to active hormone in your body. And so people were demanding these products. And so for a while we carried them because it was like crazy money. Like most of the product, even like, for example, the margins that we make manufacturing Zila product was less than those prohormones. Because you'd be like buying them for 20 and selling them for like 100. It was like amazing, or more sometimes. And I also stopped doing that because I was like, you know what? This isn't good for people. Like even if we could do it, it was gray area. It was never legal. It was just not.
It wasn't one of those. Like
it wasn't ruled illegal yet. So it was like in a weird gray area. This will be like a whole podcast of its own. So
Joe, what was that term that you said?
Not for human consumption.
Not for human consumption.
Those are that's where peptides right now. So peptides are the today version of prohormones. Not saying they're as bad because peptides are kind of an advancement. Some are good, some are bad, some we have no fucking clue, and people are just taking them. And literally, you are the guinea pig.
Yeah,
and you're taking a lot of them because the data is like very limited. So the prohormones were definitely working. I mean, kids were putting on so much muscle and blowing, but it's also they were breaking out like crazy. Like it was causing people to like have side effects related to their mood and temperament, and who knows what other side effects. So. I saw the rise and fall of those because they were blowing up, but like kids were using them, and that's the problem. Is like kids start getting a hold of these things, and of course, because you see a 16-year-old, you'll do anything. When you're 16 and you really want an outcome, you'll do anything for it. You don't care about tomorrow or next year, so you'll take that.
I wonder what age do you start having that body image? Obviously, now it's completely different because this generation like starts learning it so young.
I think it's as soon as you hit puberty for
really
guys,
start thinking about chicks.
Yeah. I think as soon as you hit puberty, you're probably starting to think about being a man. And like you said, now today, probably more than ever. But even back then, I think probably as soon as you start being interested in girls, that's when you're like, I'll do whatever it takes.
Mine was probably like 16 or 17.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Mine wasn't until I started Zila.
Sounds like I just started mine last year.
We care about our looks?
Yeah.
Welcome to the club.
So those blew up. I mean, kids were the thing is also when you have a kid who hasn't built a base, it's the same thing as steroids. It's the same problems as steroids. You don't know anything about lifting. You haven't built any balance, any commitment, any like discipline, and you just start taking this pill, and all of a sudden muscle starts rapidly coming on. You start getting strong as shit. You're also pretty likely to not be able to maintain that without that pill, without that injection, whatever. Like that's what happens also with the steroids. With people who are not already having built a solid foundation, and you start taking steroids, you have no base. You don't have any base level of muscle or anything. So when you stop, where you're going to go back to, in my opinion, is where you were without the steroids. You're going to regress, whether immediately or over like some time, you're going to regress back to your very starting point. That's why when you see guys who are retired bodybuilders, the ones who get really small, in my opinion, those are the ones who never really worked out without steroids. Even if they were big for like 10 years, like while they were on them, they never really had a big foundation because they didn't do natural bodybuilding or work out for 10 years without it. So to build this like muscular base, they only were able to accomplish what they accomplished while on them. And that's the analogy I was talking about of like the allowance. If you give your kid an allowance as an adult and they rely on that, and then like when they're 40, you take it away, it's going to fuck up their whole life. Like they're now ruined. Like they're only used to having that allowance.
And I can't imagine like the mood changes probably, or just like how they feel. Like they probably don't feel like the same person.
Yeah, you because you're not the same person. Like literally, you're not the same person because you've taken out this one thing that was like it elevated you. It took you to a new level that you weren't actually at. It's like if you're a race car driver who's only ever driven a Ferrari. You never even drove any other cars. And then one day they're like, okay, so you're not going to get a Ferrari today. You're going to get a Civic. You're going to be so pissed. Like mentally, you're going to be fucked because you're like, I'm not working with the same equipment anymore that I was working with before. I can't do the same things anymore. And you'll get very, very frustrated. So yeah, it's very likely to cause you to burn out. So I saw the prohormones come and go. And then I also saw 1,3-dimethylamine, this like geranium extract come and go. DMAA is something that it's shortened as. It was a stimulant that I've never seen anything like this before because people were taking it because it was basically like a meth derivative.
I was gonna say, is this meth?
Yeah, it's like a meth. It was like a meth derivative. So like people were taking this and having like this euphoria from it, and like these training sessions and like the ability to do more cardio, suppress their appetite, and continue on. There was a product called Jack3D.
Yes,
that pre-workout. When it first came out, and this was again like in that 2008 timeframe, it was selling like crack because it was like crack.
I told you. I told you guys. I fucking told you.
Yeah, it was insane. I mean,
they literally had crack in it.
Yeah, I mean, it had a meth derivative in it. Yeah.
I took meth at 17 years old.
Yeah, you and many hundreds of thousands of people.
Oh man,
that's wild. I mean, I'm sure.
I told you, dude, it was insane. I was like,
well, put it this way: the company who originally made that product, its founder, as well as many other people associated, all went to jail.
Wow.
Yeah, because
all the Jack3D founders went to jail.
Maybe not all of them, but the main guy, as well as people in the manufacturing space for it, like a lot of people, because it ended up being that you were knowingly pretty much participating in moving drugs around.
Oh my God.
Because it becomes a drug distribution thing. Like you're taking it across state lines.
Fucking insane.
Across the country.
What was the actual drug that was in Jack3D?
It wasn't. So that's the thing. It wasn't actually meth or something. It was this derivative stimulant called 1,3-dimethylamine. That's a chemical name.
Yeah.
But it's coming from this geranium flower. They were arguing like, oh, this is geranium flower. That's what it is, but it's not. It's like it actually was just the chemical that matches something that's found in the geranium flower, but like way more concentrated and completely isolated in a way that impacts your body. Like for example, let's say what it is, like Adderall, Vyvanse. These things are all like that too, but they're just like very controlled dosages, and they're not available over the counter for people to just take in a pre-workout. You know, like you have to do some level of effort to get it.
Yeah.
And they're very small dosages. So they were basically putting, let's say like a faster releasing version of Adderall, Vyvanse in these pre-workouts.
I should have taken that before my ACT. You take a dry scoop of Jack3D before a test.
I mean,
it's perfect for working out. Maybe not perfect for that, but yeah. So they were acting like it was something natural and like that it was naturally extracted, but it turned out it wasn't. It was just a chemical that was similar to something that was in that flower, but way more hyper concentrated, and it ended up becoming illegal.
It's insane.
Yeah. So I saw that come and go too, but those were like crazy things where people were like demanding.
But that was only in Jack3D or
no. As soon as people realized that became a common ingredient in pre-workouts for a minute, and then like people were demanding pre-workouts with that ingredient.
Dude, that's like the beta alanine currently. Like
not way more than that, dude. Way more than that, yeah. Because beta alanine is a legal ingredient that works. It has a ton of safety data that also doesn't. It makes you itchy when you haven't taken it before. But that's called paresthesia. It goes away. Like after you get beta alanine in your body and you take it consistently over time, you stop getting that feeling. But this, it's pretty much like meth. So the usage cycle is going to be similar, where it's going to work intensely, and then over time you need more. You need more of it. So you start taking 2 scoops of it, and then here's what happens: is that you're at the end of it all, you're basically creating a feeling in your body that's similar to like you're being chased by a lion. So like, yeah, you're going to be stronger. Yeah, you're going to have like more energy. You're going to feel intensity. But like, that's really what you're doing. You're creating all kinds of fight or flight mechanisms in your body to go off. And then you like have to go back to your life afterwards. Like you take that, you go to the gym, and then you're supposed to go back to life. But like, you've done something in your body that's very abnormal.
You're pretty much getting high every time you go work out.
Right. And so it's not a good outcome. So again, we stopped carrying that too. Before it became illegal, we even stopped carrying it because I was like, you know what? I seen how this feels for me. Because I was taking something like that, and then I was like, this is like a bad cycle. And so I don't want this for me, and I don't want this for our customers either. So we stopped carrying it, lost sales for that.
So HPN was your first business, right?
Yep.
And since then, you've started how many? Or I guess how many do you run currently?
We're at 5.
5.
Yeah, we're at five brands, each different, each for different purposes, and like intended to serve a different audience. But all united by the common factor of trying to make really high quality stuff that is meant to help people achieve health and wellness outcomes.
Yeah. What's your favorite?
Zila.
He's like the ones that make money.
Yeah, the ones that don't run in the red for 5 years. The ones that don't drain my retirement account.
Can we please touch base on sucralose?
Yeah.
Because there's a very, very common stigma that sucralose is bad for you, right? And, you know, anytime someone brings that up, I try to argue it, but like, I feel like you're the perfect person to tell people why it's not bad for you and why it's a great alternative for a sweetener.
Right. And so,
and why I bring this up for anyone that doesn't know is we use sucralose in our products, in our protein.
There's a fallacy that exists that things that are natural are better. That because something is found in nature, that it is inherently better for you than something that is developed by man or processed or developed through research and development. And that's not true. And we can prove that really quickly by asserting that most poisons are developed from leaves and plants. Like that's the baseline of most poisons is that. So like they can inherently be bad or good. So like we need to get past the natural is better and just look at the actual evidence. Because the people who say that sucralose is bad seem to usually say that monk fruit or stevia or some other leaf sweetener is better. And that's something that you have to really ask yourself, is there evidence that suggests that that's true? Because what I'm not going to sit here and say is that there's evidence that sucralose is good for you. Because there's not. Because really, I'm asserting that it's pretty benign, that it doesn't really have a super positive or super negative outcome on your health as an ingredient. But what it does do is make your shit taste really good. Yeah. It makes it more palatable. So that whatever we're actually trying to consume, which might be protein or pre-workout or amino acids or anything else, these things that don't necessarily taste that great, it makes them taste really good. So it allows you to consume what you want in a way that you really enjoy, which means that you're, like I was mentioning, going to sustainably be able to do it. Now, when we compare sucralose against monk fruit and stevia, people think that those are better because they're natural, but there's really no evidence to support that. They don't have any safety data that sucralose doesn't have. They have the same amount of safety data. Sucralose actually has more safety data than monk fruit or stevia. So there's more studies that have been done with it than either of those two. And the levels that they're able to determine any kind of negative outcome, not even in humans, but in animals, is a level that is like 20 to 30x what we would ever use in our products or encounter in our products. So if you ask me, would I prefer for someone to take 50 milligrams of sucralose or the, let's just say 10 grams of sugar that would be required to mimic the effects of the 50 milligrams of sucralose, I'm going sucralose every time. Yeah. And the data would suggest that that is better because taking that 10 gram serving of sugar is going to have a certain outcome on your blood sugar and on your ability to lose weight if that's what you're trying to do, or maintain your weight if that's what you're trying to do. Now, obviously we need some amount of carbohydrates and sugar, but I'd like to consume those intentionally from the foods that I want to consume them from. I don't necessarily want it in my protein powder, you know, and if I want it in my protein powder, I'll add the banana to it. But I'd like the baseline of the things that we make to be as good for you as they are as possible. And that's going to be with the minimal amount of sugar added. But there is not a leaf sweetener that has a better track record for safety or a better outcome than sucralose. So we use that because we want to give you guys the best.
Yeah. There's also a lot of buzz around aspartame and Diet Coke or any type of diet products.
Right.
I get asked all the time, like, can I drink this while I'm on a calorie deficit or while I'm training, whatever? My answer obviously is always yes.
Yep.
But what do you think about aspartame and like what studies have they done where, at what point does it become dangerous to drink aspartame, which is the sweetener in Diet Coke?
Right. In Diet Coke, they use aspartame. In Coke Zero, they use a combination of sweeteners. Because like aspartame kind of got a bad rap from some of those rodent studies. And although I don't necessarily think the evidence is super strong, it steered me towards sucralose, which doesn't have as compelling of that data. But they're definitely finding ways to do mega doses in rodents and find a negative outcome with that too. But aspartame isn't the only one being used. It's also acesulfame. Ace K is another one that gets used in the diet sodas. But with any of these non-nutritive sweeteners, I think the goal is moderation, like John said. Yeah. And I don't think they have any impact on your ability to lose body fat other than positive, because you're swapping out what was going to be a 35 gram of sugar bomb for a 0 gram of sugar, carbonated beverage.
Yeah.
So the reality is that if everything else is equal, the person drinking the Diet Coke is better off. It's a crazy thing to say otherwise. This is a shocking fact. This could be our big fact. The enzyme that breaks down insulin in your body is the same enzyme that breaks down plaque in your brain. So if it's spending all of its time breaking down insulin because you're constantly pumping sugar in your body, you're not going to have as much of an opportunity to clean up this amyloid plaque in your brain. This is like very, very much like newer science. It's not super established, but this is something that I've kind of taken to heart, being that like if you want to have a healthy brain, you want to not consume too much sugar, specifically around bedtime. Not saying carbs, but sugar. You want to keep your sugar moderated around bedtime so that enzyme can be doing its work while you sleep and refresh your brain.
Wow.
Have you ever eaten a ton of shit before you went to bed? Of course. The answer is.
Of course.
Like something really bad.
Yeah.
The next morning when you wake up, you don't feel your best.
For sure.
No.
And there's many reasons for that, like digestively and otherwise. But I believe that one of those reasons is that you were so caught up in the digestive process and the insulin management process of all that food that you pumped in, that your brain didn't get to recover the way it should have.
Wow.
So I'm not an advocate of telling people not to eat before bed, because I personally eat before bed, but I definitely don't eat any sugar before bed. And if I'm eating like some kind of fruit, it's definitely more like a berry. And it's a pretty small amount. It's mostly focused on protein, veggies, and fat.
Damn. It's good to know.
Think about that. Because I feel like I've had that feeling just because, I do eat a lot. But like,
yeah, you always feel your best in the morning if you either don't eat, or if you eat something lean and healthy. You're gonna wake up the next day feeling really good.
So John's been tracking.
Let's go
on the app. That was the deal.
My first workout was so bad. I don't. You know what? I don't even know how.
That's okay. Talk about it, man.
Are you logging your food too?
Yeah, I'm logging my food. Yes. But I don't honestly. For people who are already overweight, the first day was so hard. I mean, I felt like a newbie so bad.
Really?
I mean, obviously, okay, I know how to squat, right?
Yeah.
Right. I know the
you
technique.
hit legs the first day?
I did legs the first day.
That's your first mistake.
No, it's not. No, it's not. That is not true.
I'm kidding.
I did legs just because like I stopped doing legs because like honestly, for me personally, it was my legs are too dominant, I guess. So I felt like I had no need to.
Your legs are too dominant? What the fuck does that even mean?
His calves are nuts.
I know his calves are nuts.
My legs are they're too stocky. I want them to be nice and slender. You know what I'm saying?
Whatever. Whatever. Sorry.
Anyways, first day I did the bar, and I was like, when I went
squat rack.
Yeah, squat rack. I just kind of just like, I did light stretches, but not like crazy. I got to start with a warm up. I got to tell myself that I can't just go in there anymore.
Yeah. I'm like that too. I have to warm up now.
I have to warm up because that was.
I have mandatory movements that I will do before I train either lower or upper body.
For upper body, I feel like it's not so bad. Just roll the shoulders a little bit.
Yeah, legs. Legs, I agree.
Legs, my hips. Oh my God. I was like, I got to that, like the bottom, the hole, the squat position.
Yeah.
And oh my God, I think so. I think something broke or something. And this was just the bar. I was like, wait a minute.
Wow.
It was just like, I think it like cracked or something. Something happened because I was like, it started flaming.
It started what?
Inflaming. I was just
Inflaming?
I was just like, dude, my legs felt hot. I started fighting, dude. Like once I got up,
You probably strained yourself.
No. With the bar.
Yeah, well, it wasn't the bar; it was the motion. It was the range.
The motion. Yeah,
It was the range of motion.
Yeah, so
I think that's probably what it was. The interesting thing about being deconditioned, like you are, is that everything is going to work. Like meaning, you shouldn't pressure yourself to increase the weight dramatically. Yeah. You should pressure yourself to increase the weight consistently.
Yeah.
So meaning, don't go from bar to a plate. Go from a bar to a 10 to 2 10s to a 25 to 3 10s to a 35 to a 40. As long as you increase every week right now, you're going to be consistently providing the stimulus that's necessary for your body to change.
That's 100%. Remember what I said last week? Start really, really slow.
And I did. The bar was slow, dude.
In that case, but that's the thing.
So, no bar next time.
Yeah. That's the thing. Sometimes so we have to realize that there is a regression for every single thing. Yeah. Like if someone can't do a body weight squat, because if they're like, I can't even do a body weight squat like properly with no weight. Perfect. Let's do a wall sit. Let's do a wall sit. Like just hold a wall sit until you can hold. If someone can't hold a wall sit at parallel for 30 seconds, they shouldn't be squatting. Good test. Like honestly, if someone can't do that, they're not ready to squat yet.
Sean, I don't think I'm ready for a 30-second wall sit. That's insane.
No, you can do it. You can do it as a wall sit.
If you can't do it, you shouldn't squat yet. You should be doing sets of wall sits.
John, you should just be walking back and forth.
Just walk up and down Santa Monica.
Anyways, so after I did 2 sets of just the bar.
Bro, talking to the mic, please.
I am.
No, you're talking like this.
Sorry.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
So I did 2 sets of just the bar, and I was like, okay, that's kind of warmed up,
Yeah.
And I'm talking, and between rests, I'm not gonna lie, it was just like 3 minutes of just like, well, Alex was eating chicken in front of me. God, this is not relatable at all, guys. But Alex is just watching me eat his rice and chicken while I do my squats in the gym.
Alex is watching you eat his rice and chicken.
No, Alex is.
Well, he does your squats. That's crazy.
Yeah, we switched.
It's like I eat Alex's food. He does my sets.
Yes. Yeah. I told him here, let me take over.
Okay. So he's eating rice and chicken.
Yeah,
you're doing squats.
And
okay.
And I told him like, dude,
Alex, for anyone that doesn't know, Alex does this weird thing where he takes his rice and chicken into the gym and just watches you lift. And apparently he was doing that with John. So sorry.
Not relatable at all.
Continue.
And then, so he told me like, hey, maybe you need to warm up your hips. And that's what I started doing. I put the red band around my knees.
Yeah.
Just to stretch out my hip flexors. Yeah. And so I was like, okay, I felt warmed up. And then, so, I was like, time for the big boy.
Yeah. Okay.
25 pounds. Like,
25 pounds.
Dude, oh my God. I grunted.
Wow.
I grunted on that first bottom half. I was just like, wow, this sucks.
I mean, hey man, it's a start.
What did you get up to? What did you get up to when you were fully training with a squat?
I mean, I think my goals was like, I could have done like 225 for 15. My goal was like number 15, and I never wanted to go higher than 15. Like, no higher than 225. Just because that's where I find myself injuring myself. Like I strained my lower back or something.
Yeah.
So I try not to go that much higher. Maybe my squat needs to be better. I mean, I agree. It's a work in progress. Okay.
What if you're like scared of the scale? You know what I'm saying?
We have to break that, right? Because part of this is eventually going to be dissociating your self-image from your weight. But right now, you are at that point where we need to take weight off. We need to take weight off for your health. Like you're not at a healthy body weight right now.
Yeah.
That's probably some amount of 20 pounds or something that needs to come off just to like start being able to say I'm at a healthy, reasonable body weight, with my BMI being something that is correlated to me living longer. And look, BMI became something that wasn't useful anymore at some point because people were like, oh, it doesn't account for muscle. But it's like, that's not the problem with people. If you're in the state of someone who's deconditioned, we shouldn't be worried about your body fat percentage as much as your BMI because you're overweight. Yeah. If you're overweight and it's because of the fact that you're carrying too much body fat, it's different than a bodybuilder or a pro athlete who is overweight because they have so much fucking muscle. Like it's a different thing.
And also it'll get you that momentum that we've been talking about too, like seeing that weight come off, even if it's like 5-10 pounds, you'll get a rhythm of it, you know?
Yeah. And momentum is a hell of a thing. When you have it and when you feel like you're in line with what's going on, and it carries you.
But just getting that engine started, I'm telling you guys, I can relate. It is tough. It's really hard. It's really hard.
Yeah. We're here for you, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm just seeing it from like an outside perspective. It's just like, because I'm experiencing it currently.
Yeah. I mean, but think of it this way. You're talking to a lot of people who are in the same boat as you. So it's really good that you're sharing, but it's our job to like try to talk through how we figured these things out so that these people can also do it alongside you, you know? Did you hear about the companies that will say that they have a certain amount of protein in them per serving, but in actuality, it's much less?
It costs a certain amount to make protein. And if it's less than that certain amount, if it's less than the market rate of what it seems like people are charging, there's probably something wrong with it. What's happening is they're putting bulk amino acids, like glycine is a common one. They're putting bulk amino acids in instead of the protein because they trigger nitrogen the same way that protein does. And they give a false reading on the way that most protein powders are tested, which is a nitrogen test. The only way around that is to do what's known as a free versus bound amino acid test. And that'll tell you if there is extra amino acids in the product that are not labeled. And so we actually do that on our protein to demonstrate to ourselves even that like there's no spiking that has occurred.
That's what's called spiking.
Yeah, amino-spiking is what it's called. And it's a way of getting the product to register a higher protein level than it actually has. That's so crazy. You're getting cheated because it's not usable. You can't take glycine and form all of the protein that's needed in your body to build muscle. You need all the amino acids and you need a protein in general. That's what you paid for.
That's crazy though, huh?
Yeah. What about like, because I know there's so many brands out there.
Okay, so
that's like TikTok shop.
This is the tie-in back when we were talking about what makes clean and what makes quality. At Zila, because this is my passion and my expertise is the product development and manufacturing process, we know everything about our products and none of them are white labeled or developed for other people or simultaneously packaged for other people. Everything that Zila has is 100% unique and proprietary to Zila.
One more thing that I wanted to ask and bring up was a question that I get asked a lot is how many grams of protein can I have in one sitting? Like how many grams of protein can my body absorb in one sitting? And a lot of studies have shown that it's like 30 to 40 grams, but recent studies have shown that it actually does not matter. What's your take on that?
The limit does not exist.
Okay.
Yeah, you can theoretically consume as much protein as you want in one sitting, and it will all absorb in time. The question doesn't become about like what's possible; it becomes what's efficient and optimal. You know, so it would be optimal to consume protein at relatively even intervals throughout the day, and just do that, you know, consistently. That'd be optimal. But if someone's like, yeah, I don't get to eat for like a long period of the day, like my job doesn't allow it or whatever, and it's easier for me to consume a large bolus of protein at one point of the day and then the rest are like much lower, then they can do that too. All nutrients that you consume at the macro level all absorb at some point or another. If they're macros, meaning carbohydrates, protein, and fat, you don't get to skip digestion of any of them. They will all digest. It's just a matter of how you're going to feel in that process. If you have a massive, massive meal, you're going to feel lethargic afterwards, most likely.
Yeah.
Versus a smaller meal, you're not going to feel as lethargic because you're not having to divert as much resources into digestion. So it'd be ideal to consume it evenly throughout the day in increments that add up to your total needs, but not essential and not mandatory. And it pretty much would have negligible impact on your results, like tiny, tiny percentages.
Yeah, that's good to know. One thing we didn't do, guys,
Oh, no.
Oh my god.
new flavor of pre-workout.
Wow.
Strawberry lychee, baby, right here.
Is it lychee or lychee?
I have no idea.
That's a huge debate.
I don't know. Yeah.
Lychee.
Guys, let us know if it's lychee or lychee. Strawberry lychee.
Depending on your vote.
Depending on what, yeah. Let's try it. I'm actually super excited. This is going to be replacing the godforsaken mango that, I'm sorry if you guys like it. I don't love it, but it was a good flavor.
It was a Survivor Series. We had to vote off the weakest link.
Yes,
and
it was the weakest link. But now we got strawberry. Oh, yeah, guys. Also, for anyone that has bought our pre-workout in the past, not only do we have a new flavor, but also our serving size went up and our price stayed the same. So now it went from 20 to 25 servings. Wow, that looks pink. It's like kind of like pink lemonade.
Yeah. So no colors in that?
No artificial colors. We use beetroot.
One more time for the camera. Cheers.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Strawberry. Lychee.
Strawberry lychee.
Wow.
I'm not gonna lie. That's like my favorite right now.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
That's delicious.
It's really good.
Wow.
Yeah, it's bomb.
It's really good.
That's bomb.
Yeah, we nailed it with this one.
I'm going to be honest. I haven't tried this flavor in like a year.
Yeah.
I just remember.
It came down to this, so that people know. It came down to this and grape.
Yeah. Which grape we launched already. It's
Yeah.
for sale. But yeah, strawberry. This is good.
This
man.
is good.
Really good.
So fresh.
That's fresh.
Yeah.
You have that like sour taste at the end.
Yeah, I like the tart.
Wow. Excellent work, Sean.
Yeah.
This is, again, guys, this is all thanks to my genius partner. Without him, I would be launching not this kind of flavor.
Sean just like cooking shit in his lab.
He's literally in the lab cooking, bro.
Yeah.
Literally in the
He's
lab.
like, this is it. This is the one.
Thank you very much, John. Thanks for updating us on your journey. Sean, thanks for coming on and bringing your big brain at this podcast. We needed it. We might need it back sometime soon.
Maybe like next week.
Yeah, maybe next week. Much love, guys. Thank you for listening. Peace out.